Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. My name's Abhiyan. I'm a final year medical student studying in London, and in this video I'll be talking about my first week experience of an ophthalmology placement at Moorfields Eye Hospital. So last month I was in GP, which is compulsory as part of our final year. I've already made a video on my experiences on my GP placement, so if you haven't checked that out already, then make sure you check that out. But this month I'm actually back in London and I'm at Moorfields Eye Hospital for my ophthalmology placement. Now this is a student selected placement or student selected component, which means we actually got to choose from a list of options what to do this block in, and I chose ophthalmology because from our last year's placement it was the one I enjoyed most out of our clinical years in med school. And so I'll just be going over why I chose the placement, why I initially liked ophthalmology or thought I would like it, what my experiences of this placement has been so far at Moorfields Eye Hospital. So if you're interested in that, then keep watching. So why did I choose this placement initially? We were actually given a lot of choices to choose from. So we were given A&E or surgery or orthopedic surgery or like psychiatry, or there were just loads of options. And firstly I looked at the list and I thought, I don't really like the idea of any other option there, which is kind of peak to the people that have chosen the other SSCs and chose it because they like it. But for me, I was just like, no. So for me, firstly, it was easy to cross off like a load of the options available to us. Secondly, as I said, I really actually enjoyed my ophthalmology placement when we had it last year in 5th year. So for us, that placement was only a week, and of that week, it was only around 4 actual days of going in the hospital. One day was just a full day online teaching, which was actually given by clinical fellows and registrars at Moorfields itself actually. But in our placement, we didn't actually get to go to Moorfields itself. It was just at Royal Free Hospital, where our university, where our campus was based last year. And it was good. Like the moment I walked in, I saw doctors that were happy, and I haven't seen that in other specialties much. Apart from pediatrics, but pediatrics is a completely different topic, and for various reasons I'm just not into pediatrics. But this was the only other specialty I can think of apart from pediatrics where the doctors looked happy and they looked like they liked what they were doing and were not just eager to go home at 5 or whenever they finished their job. They actually enjoyed being in the clinic, they enjoyed being in the surgery, and I saw a couple of surgeries which I actually went in additionally for because we weren't scheduled surgery back then. But I thought, listen, if I like this placement, I might as well discover what life is fully going to be like, which involves doing a bit of surgery as well. So then I went into theatre, and the consultant, the doctor I was with, he was just he was so good. He explained step by step what he was doing, and obviously even though I didn't have much of an idea, it still kind of made sense. And he was just, sitting down, doing his surgery, listening to music in the background. The whole vibe was nice because all the team in the theatre got along with each other, the theatre nurses, the scrub nurses, the assistant, everyone just got along with each other. And it was short, sweet procedures, and the doctor was really nice, and that really inspired me. And I was like, do you know what? This isn't bad. I could see myself doing this. Do you know what I mean? I fit into the vibe. And even in the clinics, every doctor was so nice. They were willing to teach. Even with the registrars that were there, they would take extra care to make sure that the registrars are being educated by taking photos of the back of the patient's eye for their own learning, or taking time to explain what's going on, or answering their queries and things. Whereas with other specialties, I always felt as a student or as a trainee, you're always in the way of the consultant. When I went to, I don't know, I'm not going to name and shame, but when I went to certain wards, there were doctors running away from me. Consultants are running away thinking, oh, here's a medical student again. Whereas here, they were actually willing to teach, and everyone was so nice and everyone was friendly, and I was just do you know what? That's actually not bad. Do you know what I mean? And I'd never considered ophthalmology before, and it's just I felt so confused afterwards because I was oh wow, I really like this, but do I want to commit to just eyes for the rest of my life? Do you know what I mean? So I was really confused, and so this SSC is a good opportunity for me to actually see the breadth of the different subspecialties, see what life is actually like. I could have just been really lucky and had those 4 days where doctors seemed nice. So then I wanted to do this placement, which is sorry, 4 days I said, yeah. So I wanted to do this placement, which is 4 weeks, just to get a better idea of what the specialty and what the people and what the vibe is actually like. So I've had my first week at Moorfields so far, and to be honest, so far it's been decent, you know, it's actually been calm, like it's been good. On the first day I asked 2 doctors would they pick ophthalmology again if they had to, and they both said no, which was, you know, which was a bit like okay. And I was like, why? And they were just not being very clear, and they were like, the lifestyle's not good anymore, blah blah blah. And I was just deep in it thinking, oh, like why? Like, come on. And they weren't even telling me real reasons as well. And that day I just had a clinic, and it was like a busy, fast-paced clinic, which, to be honest, like, I think I would prefer something that's busy and where things are popping, rather than where things are just like just sat there doing nothing or just waiting around, or, you know, like, I would rather be doing things, be an expert in, you know, using the equipment, using the slit lamp, using this, doing that, knowing exactly what's going on, being an expert in a particular areas of focus, of specialty. And I don't know, like, so far from the clinic side of things, it was alright. And the thing about Moorfields is I got to see like really rare pathologies, so I'm thinking, if I want to go into this field, I might as well go somewhere where I'm going to see the more interesting things, because people come from all over the world, people have the rare conditions that you only read about in textbooks. Like, for example, I saw a patient with toxoplasmosis, and that's something that I'd only heard of in the textbook. Like, I never thought I'd see it in real life. I saw another patient with Behçet's disease, and I just didn't even remember what it was, because I remember reading that 2 lines in the textbook, because it's such a rare disease, or, you know, like, you just never see it again in your life. Whereas, like, I just saw it at Moorfields, and all these things in the textbook that you don't think you're gonna see, you're gonna see. And that just makes it a lot more interesting, rather than just seeing like bread and butter. Because yes, you're gonna be good at the bread and butter, but you're also gonna be bored. Whereas I feel like if you keep seeing new things or like interesting things and keep seeing changes, but you still know everything is in that particular specialty, then I think like that makes it a lot more exciting. So I don't know, I kind of liked it for that reason. And then I went into theatre on one of the days as well. So the morning session was just clinics looking at vitreoretinal emergencies, so things like retinal detachments and retinal tears and stuff like that. And I actually got to see a retinal detachment on the slit lamp as well. And in the afternoon was the surgery to repair those retinal detachments. And it was just like, oh wow, like, you see what's wrong, you know how to fix it, you do a procedure to fix it by doing an operation or a surgery, or you treat it with laser surgery, and all of those just seemed very like systematic for me. Back in GP, you'd have patients who just generally have pain, you know, like stomach pain or back pain or neck pain or just pain somewhere, and you just wouldn't even have any idea what's going on. Obviously you do a few examinations, you ask a few more questions to get a history, but it didn't really, you couldn't see what's wrong until you either do some blood tests or you do a scan or you refer them to someone secondary care. And in that way it kind of just felt limiting, and it kind of just took the excitement out, because every time it got a little bit exciting, you're always referring them for a blood test or a scan or a specialist or something. And for that reason, I just didn't really feel the vibe with GP. Whereas with this, like, you see what's wrong and you fix it by doing a surgery. And the surgery was so cool as well. I was just sat there thinking, oh, I have no idea what he's doing. Like, I know I'm looking at the eye and I'm looking at the retina. Actually, I did kind of know what he was doing, because I could see the retinal detachment, and he like lasered it and like took the vitreous out and all of that. So roughly I knew what he was doing, but I was just like, okay, I see myself doing that, you know, like, I wouldn't mind doing that, do you know what I mean? And the fellow and the registrar I was with, they were just both like really knowledgeable, and they just knew what was going on. And that's what I want to be. I want to be someone who knows what's going on, who can fix things, who can do things, can work with their hands, use equipment, and I don't know, I just really liked it for that reason. So overall I say it was good, but then I still have mixed feelings, because obviously it's a specialty that you commit to. The training itself is 7 years plus, you know, fellowships if you want to do it. That's 7 years after doing foundation year training. So for me to become like a subspecialized ophthalmologist, it would take me 2 years of foundation that I have to do from next year, plus 7 years of specialty training, plus every fellowship is 1 year. So that's 7, 8, 9, 10. So it would take me like 10 years to actually get there, and that would make me what, like 24, that would make me 34, which actually isn't that bad. Do you know what I mean? It's not that bad. And if it's something that I enjoy doing, then it's calm. Like, but that's just the thing that's holding me back, the training being so long and just having to commit yourself and basically just be okay with letting go of general medicine. Because even the doctor said, fam, if someone has a cardiac arrest, I'm an eye doctor, I can't remember what to do. Obviously, I guess we'll still have CPR and basic CPR training, but we gotta be prepared to just let go of our general medical knowledge. Unless, of course, if you want to just continue studying it on the side, which why would you? But that's one of those things, the long training, the competitiveness as well. It's not like as if I want to say I want to do it and I'm just going to get in. I have to start building portfolio, I have to do research, I have to show enthusiasm in the commitment, build networks. And so there's just all this mind boggle of things that I have to do when I'm not even sure that I want to do it yet fully. So I guess the first week was alright. I've still got 3 weeks to see, how it goes on. And I really want to get both sides. I want to know the pros and the cons. So far I might just be focusing on and looking out for the pros, but I really want to get a wide perspective and genuinely know whether this is something that I should go into or not, because so far it's all calm. Like, so far there's literally calm. I just want to make sure I'm doing the right decision, making the right decision, but my mind could change. Tomorrow I could decide I'm gonna go into hematology or oncology or whatever. Definitely not GP from my experiences so far, but I did like those placements too. I don't know, we'll see. I'm just confused. But anyway, like, this is just, I don't even know if this video was helpful for anyone considering ophthalmology or whoever's watching or wherever you're watching. Thank you for watching if you made it this far. If you're new to my channel, then check out my newsletter down in the description below. You can check out previous issues, and if you're interested, then sign up, link in the description below. With that being said, if you're new, subscribe to my channel. If you like this video, press the like button. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you again in my next video.